said don't do crystal meth in the bathroom all night long.
That's my opinion!
He will never emotionally fulfill you.
Because I don't want to be a part of it.
Go to sleep! Go to sleep!
Close your legs to married men, trash box.
I'll tell you how I'm doing. Not well, bitch.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Welcome to Morally Corrupt. I am Rachel Lindsay. She is Callie Curry. We are back to our regularly scheduled program, but just for now, because next week we only have one episode because it's Thanksgiving, you guys. So make sure you still tune in Tuesday.
Wait, what episode?
We'll have an episode of Morally Corrupt.
I thought you were saying we weren't getting Bravo shows next week.
Well, it probably will be limited. You know how they do that sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what show are we
Morally
doing?
Corrupt have one episode.
Got it.
The Bravo News version where we still will have a special guest. And, you know, on that episode, we'll give thanks for all the things that Bravo has given us this year, because I feel like it was only a couple of months ago that we were complaining about not being able to watch anything. And now I feel overwhelmed. It's like we already have 4 shows this week. We're only covering 3 today, you guys. We're doing Southern Charm, Salt Lake City, and OC. We're not doing Potomac. But it's like I'm seeing previews for Vanderpump Rules is about to drop. Something else is about to drop. And I'm like, whoa. I mean, we do lose OC this week. So that's one thing. But just now it's a lot. Got a lot going on. And everything's coming back. It's like I got Grey's Anatomy. I have All's Fair. I have Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I'm forgetting something.
I already watched some of those shows.
Law and Order, SVU. Everything is back.
SVU did come back.
I still watch all of these.
SVU did come back. When I went to go look at my recordings last night, I was like, oh, SVU.
I'm so behind. And still trying to keep up with what's happening in the world. It's just a lot. I'm behind. I'm very much so looking forward to the holidays to catch up, even though I'm going to be moving around a lot. You ready to jump in? What are we starting with? I
am.
Now?
What do you want to start with? Because I know we have differing opinions on Southern Charm. So let's go.
Go for it. Is this Sally Venita? Or is this Craig Venita?
It's Craig Venita. I think we have differing opinions on.
Shout out to Venita, by the way, because I don't know why I thought I could go to BravoCon with no glam. In addition to no glam, that I was be sharing the stage with the Real Housewives of Atlanta and think that I didn't need to step up my game.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking. I think just because I had so much happening before that it just was like, I'm just trying to survive and get there.
Yeah.
And shout out to Venita, because I said I needed a makeup artist. She DM'd me, gave me her makeup artist, who was fantastic, who not only did my makeup so well, she gave me the pep talk that I needed before and just poured into me. It was great. The only reason my Atlanta panel was good, I feel like, is because I had such good energy going into it. I wasn't nervous by any means, but just like such a calming presence. It was great. So shout out to Venita for that.
Some people are really stingy with their glam. So for real, thanks, Venita, for helping my girl out.
She's
about to go up there and look crusty with all the Atlanta housewives.
What was I thinking?
Like they're also like glammed over the top. So it would have been like very obvious.
Yes, it would have been like, get this.
Not that you don't look beautiful on this Friday morning with no makeup on, but on that stage with those queens, I feel like you got to bring it a little bit.
No. It would have been disgusting. Get this woman off the stage. But no, she saved me in that. Okay, Craig Venita, you think we have differing opinions. Maybe I will surprise you.
Maybe you will. So wait, first let's say I'm so happy that Southern Charm is back. It is one of my favorite shows on Bravo. And I discussed with Juliet, but I don't think it made it onto the pod because we were just talking about BravoCon a little bit. And it seemed like this year's BravoCon was like not as juicy. I don't know another word to call it, but it felt like I was kind of like, like I wasn't as tuned in as I usually am. Like there wasn't as many clips as there usually is. But I think a big part of that is because I think the quote unquote other shows have like grown in popularity over the Housewives. And the Housewives, the most popular ones are like the OGs, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think some of the shows that have like strayed from those OGs or like I got so much like Southern charm. I got so much Southern hospitality. Um, like
Clips?
Summer House. Yeah, like those were the things that you kept seeing and like interviews you kept seeing were from those people. And like the OGs, I feel like it was them and the OGs, and then like all the housewives that are in the middle kind of just like get left behind.
Um, this is what I'll say. I talked to a lot of people who felt like this BravoCon was bigger than it was 2 years ago, and it was. It felt bigger. And maybe it felt bigger because we had 2 years off,
Yeah,
so
maybe.
maybe. But I will say, like I did the Summer House panel, and I was disappointed with what was brought to the table. Like, shout out to Lindsay. I turned to her at one point and I go, "Thank you." Like she was playing with me. She goes,
Yeah.
"Yes, I see what you're trying to do." I'm like, she would make comments. It's like I'm asking West a question and he's giving me nothing. The guys are duds, except for Carl and Kyle, obviously. But the guys were like Jesse and West were kind of they were just duds. It was like they laid an egg. They had nothing
Yeah.
to say. They weren't funny. They weren't engaging, but they sure knew how to jump off stage at the end of it and stay out there and take pictures with everybody. Like it was more like they were caught up in the attention of it than it's like it's a show. Like play with me. Where's the
Yeah.
dramatics? The girls were holding it down. Amanda was killing it. Sierra. Like I really got to give it to Carl because he was. Lindsay. It
I
was
love
just
Carl.
so flat. But and I remember when we went 2 years, like I felt like Summer House was flat before too. They're just like, don't bring it on the panel
On
the
the
way that I want
stage.
them to. And I
Yeah.
think that there's this fear with the newer people that they're so scared to like push the buttons or step outside the box, except for the women on Atlanta. The newbies on Atlanta, I thought everybody got along. Normally I'm giving instructions that are like, hey, this is the dynamic, this is dynamic. No notes. And those women can't stand each other. The
I
newbies.
was
The
gonna
newbies.
say, I also think it makes it hard when everyone is getting along, and it seems like for Summer House, for the most part, they all like each other.
They were
And
hugging
so,
backstage in a
yeah, so
prayer
I feel
circle.
like that like makes it harder for you. You know what I mean? Because there's not like if you would have gone and done the OC panel, that shit would have been lively, like the Atlanta panel, lively. So I feel like it kind of hurts the actual panel when there's not like crazy drama. Like it was fun when West and Sierra hated each other and there was the tension on stage but there's not any of that now. Although I am so excited for their season. I just think that the tension it's I mean like the conflict between them is not super high, so it makes it harder for you to like lead the panel.
I think
But
it's there. I think that they just made a pact to not be that because there were things that Lindsay was saying where she
mm,
was like, be honest. That's not what you said last night at dinner. And
mhm, mhm.
and she was trying to play a game that they were not trying to play. And I'm like, and this is why
Yeah.
she's been on for 10 seasons.
Well, Lindsay's also like cut handmade for reality television.
And I appreciate her for her services.
So do I. Um, but so excited for Southern Charm.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I know they talk about this on the show. Craig
What?
has a head of hair. Like, my God, his locks are insane. I could not believe that he has that good quality of hair at his age, which he's not even old, but usually it's thinning at that point. He has like Ken Barbie doll hair.
Yeah, I hate this hairstyle that he has on this show, on this episode. Like
Yeah,
the slicked back, I can't even appreciate how great his hair is because you're right, because the hairstyle is so offensive.
it's not for
Like
me.
like the way he looked and cut his hair at BravoCon and he looked fantastic.
I was gonna say his hair
A
at
little over
BravoCon, I
tan.
was like,
He's a little over
how
tan.
how does he have this much hair? His mom and daddy, he has great genes. I don't know, but his hair, and they talked about it in the show, and I agree with you. I did not like the hairstyle. But when they brought it up, I was like, yeah, his hair is insane. And I think it's part of his good looks because he is a good looking guy, love him or hate
Mhm,
him. And that's
mhm.
what I think everyone's kind of conclusion is like, which we'll see play out this season with our girl Sally. Um, he's interesting, but he's good looking, and his head of hair definitely helps. The Craig and the Venita of it all. First of all, I am tired of the Paige shit. I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear, I'm on Team Paige. I don't want to hear it. She's not even here. And why is Paige even commenting? Like, you've moved on, Paige. Yeah, you've moved on. You're doing well. Stop going backwards into this. Like, it makes no sense to me. Also, Craig has stopped doing that. So stop. Like, why is it still a thing? I hate it. That's number one. Number two, Venita, Paige is not your bestie. She's just not. I don't know. Like, I understand you being a girl's girl, whatever. That you guys are not best friends. So I don't understand why it's that big of a deal. I also think it's fine for Venita to not want to be friends with Craig. And I think it's fine for Craig to not want to be friends with Venita after Venita went and did press about their breakup, and she's not that close with either of them.
I don't know how close she is with Paige. Not that close. But what I do think is that she's never been close to Craig.
No, never.
And so when she's like, I'm closer with Paige, I was like, yeah, she probably is. Because
she's closer with me.
No, I'm going to give her a little bit more than that. But,
no, I know. No,
but
when the whole breakup happened, I remember them being like, have you talked to Paige? And she's like, I texted her and she texted me back. Y'all aren't that close.
But I believe her.
I believe her, but I'm saying I don't understand why it's like, I have to be Team Paige. Just say I'm closer with Paige, and that's it. The interviews post breakup from her to me are weird when you're not that close to either of them.
So this is what I'll say about that. I don't think she's as close to Paige, I agree with you, as she's putting it out there. But what I don't think gets talked about enough, and maybe that's to protect the brand of the show, I don't think she and Craig were ever friends. I think the most contact they ever had is when he jumped in the pool to get her. And I don't think, it feels like she almost can't say that. Like, I wish she could just be like, Craig and I never had a relationship. I've met Paige.
I feel like that's like pretty apparent. So she should be able to say that, but I get what you're saying. She probably feels like she can't.
The storyline makes it seem like they were friends and she chose Paige. And I don't think they ever were. So I don't think it's weird that she's like, I'm closer with Paige. I'm like, I believe you, because I don't think you had anything with Craig.
Right.
But I will say in her defense, like the interview they keep playing is from the Vile Files. She did
more than one.
Okay. The interview on whatever, they are asking her the question and she is answering it. I think I'd be more, and to be honest, I probably would too. I think I'd be more like, it's weird if she's just on her own, giving her opinions. If she's asked about it and she answers, okay, fine, whatever. Like, is it messy? Of course. But
okay, so then on the flip side, when Craig is asked about it, why can't he be like, yeah, we're not friends. I don't want to be friends with her.
Well, he does say that now.
No. He did. I'm saying in the moment, he did an interview. Yeah. Or I think it was him, Austin, and Shep on Watch What Happens Live. Andy asks about it. Yeah. And he's like, I'm not friends with Venita. I don't really want to be friends with her after that.
I'm like, cool.
Yeah. So then her being like, got it. Cool. Okay, great. I understand. Why are you upset with him saying that after you just said your Team Paige multiple times on multiple podcasts when, by the way, this was for press for the show. I'm sure everyone from the show got the same fucking questions. Everyone was being asked about Paige and Craig at that time. You are the one that chose to say this is how you feel. So obviously he's going to be like, cool. I'm not friends with her. It's all good. I wasn't friends with her anyways, to what we're saying. Yeah. I don't then get how he is a bad guy for responding to what you said. And y'all don't got to be friends. Y'all weren't friends anyways, probably. So
I agree.
Why is Venita so upset about about Craig saying, I don't want to be friends with her? When you said your Team Paige, what did you expect?
I'm sure, no, I agree with you. I'm sure there's something we're missing, but what I agree with you. And what I didn't like, I think it was Sally, who was like, she's like, I understand both sides. Fair. So do we. And then she's like, yeah, Craig could have had a conversation with you before he decided to end your friendship. Well, you could have had a conversation with Craig at
Yeah,
the
I
same
think it goes
time.
both ways.
And the
Yeah.
reason neither one of you did is because I
It's
don't
because
think
you're
neither one of
not
you are
friends.
friends. Exactly. Exactly. See, we do agree. I do agree with
Yes.
you. I do agree with you on that. And what I don't want, and it seems like we get a lot. We got the trailer at the end. I don't want this whole season to be about Venita and Craig not getting
Craig.
along.
Mm-hmm.
I know it'll come up, and I do want a confrontation. I do want that, and it does seem to happen. But I don't want the whole thing to be like that. And then obviously, Sally and Venita are besties, but Sally likes herself a man.
No, I think
And
Sally wants to have fun. Sally is a fun girl. That is the vibes I've got from her. And we'll see it play out this season with Craig and maybe some other people. But we have seen Sally on multiple shows with multiple men. Sally wants to have a good time. That doesn't mean a serious time all the time. She wants to have a good time. So I think Sally wanting to hook up with Craig, to her, is not that big of a deal in the long term with her and Venita. And Venita doesn't. Oh, wait. That just reminded me of another point that I have. Craig is not telling anyone that they can't hang out with Venita.
so
Venita has strong opinions on people hanging out with Craig.
there's two types of friends, right? And I don't subscribe to the type of thing that Venita's doing. Unless, as it stands, right? If there's more to it, we don't know it. So we're going to talk about it from what we see. Craig is saying, I don't want to be Venita's friend. I don't like what she did. He's not calling her, to our knowledge, out of her name. He's not doing anything
He's like, I don't like her.
He's not like getting her kicked off the show. He's not doing anything to mess with her career. Nothing like that. Like, I just don't fuck with her because of what she said, which is his right to do. I would not tell my friend not to hang out with somebody who's just like, I really just don't fuck with her. But it would have to be the extreme things that I'm bringing up for me to be like, why would you want to hang out with somebody who did that to me? So I'm like that. You're like that. I think more people are like Venita.
Really?
I got girlfriends who are like, you better not hang out with them because I'm not friends with them, girl or man. Like, you shouldn't talk to them.
First of all, depends on how close we are. But like, if you're my best friend and this girl that I'm not that close with says she don't fuck with you, I'm probably like, okay, well, we're not gonna fuck with each other either. Like, I'm good.
Right.
I don't need to hang out with you. I already have my friends. You're not gonna say you don't like my friend. She's one of my best friends. Like, if you don't like my friend, you probably don't like me. But a dude, I don't give a fuck. If a guy don't like me, I'm not sleeping with you. You don't gotta like me. As long as you aren't disrespectful to me to the point where I'm like, girl, ain't no way you can still be with that man after he called me A, B, and C and whatever. That's one thing. But if we just don't get along because I did something and he did something, go have fun. What does that have to do with me?
Yeah, and also, and I know Venita didn't see this in the moment, but you also see Sally say, let me go check with Venita. Let me go check on Venita. Let me go make sure Venita's okay. I don't know where they stand today.
I think they're fine because Sally does not like Craig now.
Okay. I didn't see them around each other. I think Sally wants, and you see Madison say this on the trailer, I think Craig wants to fuck Sally. I think Sally would rather have more of a relationship.
Probably. I mean, that happens a lot. I love Madison's relationship with these guys. And now that she is out of it, like now that there's no chance of any of them ever being with her, and she's pregnant and she's happy, and she just gets to be there and guide them.
Yeah.
I love the dynamic. Like her being like, Sally's not your type, is she? And Craig's like, I think she's beautiful. And Madison's like, oh, okay. Well, let's get that cooking. Like she's ready to wingman. And I love it.
Or she's like, Austin calls her and she's like, hey girl.
Hey girl.
I love that.
It is so cute. So yeah, I am I'm not a friend like Venita when it comes to men. I think I'm more like Venita when it comes to women. I don't want a girl saying bad things about my friend. and wanting to be friends with me. Like, that's just not gonna really work.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to still be friends with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a guy, I'm like, I'm not gonna be friends with him, so who cares? Like, if you want to go have fun, go have fun.
Yeah. I when you were talking about Madison, it just makes me think of her trajectory on this show from how we first met Madison to where she is now.
Madison.
The show kind of, since she's the voice of reason,
Mm-hmm.
she gets along with everybody, and we just never thought that that's who Madison would be. I mean, the way she and Shep used to go at each other, she and Craig weren't besties at the same,
No.
we saw her as she came in, she was cool with Venita, whatever, but she just seems to get along with everybody. And of course, Miss Patricia, we knew
Loves her.
she'd be there.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of her and Whitney at
BravoCon.
BravoCon.
Did you see
And Molly.
the TikTok that Shep, Craig, and Austin did with her?
With Miss Patricia?
No, Madison. I'll be your father figure. It's to the, you saw it?
No.
She's like, she's walking down the hallway at BravoCon, like by herself. And then like one by one, each of the guys comes and like walks behind her and she's like the leader. And I'm like, yeah,
That's
this
cute.
is Southern charm.
That's super cute. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go look it up.
It's so cute.
What else happens? We got Corey, who I hope that's it.
I
hope
Molly,
that's it.
come on, girl. Molly's taste is insane.
Well, she at least acknowledges it.
Yeah, she does. She knows
But see, I'm trying to like classify Corey. I mean, obviously he's a flirt. He's obviously a flirt. He's obviously a fuckboy. But like, it's like he's trying to be somebody. Like, I look at his style, I look at his hair, I look at the glasses, I look at the way he and I'm like, what are you trying to be? I don't know. It just doesn't feel genuine. And maybe this is just me not being a fan, but I'm like, there's something about Corey that's trying so hard. There's something about it. I just hope that this was the beginning and the end of him on Southern Charm.
I think Corey is hard to place
on TV. Well, he so badly wants to be there, and it's so obvious.
I just can't figure. He's not like Craig, Shep, Austin, even like Rodrigo. Most of the guys on the show fall into like a certain category. They're not like super fratty. They're like in between fratty
Corey's
and country
fratty.
club. No, I know. I'm saying the guys on the show, not Corey. The guy in the shows they have like a little bit of frat, a lot of country club, some Southern. Like they all are kind of similar. Corey is like fratty, drunk, silly. Like, I'm like, how do you fit into this group? It just felt so out of place for me. Not saying everyone has to be the exact same, but I'm like, I don't understand.
He would be better on Southern Hospitality.
Yeah, but even those guys have more country club in them than he does.
But they're thirsty. They're thirsty. Anytime I see, they're just.
That show's great.
I feel sorry for them. They don't fit in at Bravo. Like, in my opinion, from my observation, even when I would watch, and I don't even mean like stuff I saw backstage. I'm talking about like when I would watch them on panels.
Yeah,
I was just like, they fit in with each other for their show, but not with the rest of BravoCon.
They're kind of like stepchildren. I love how Sally started on that show and was like, no, Southern Charm.
Or The Bachelor.
Well, she started with The Bachelor, then Southern Hospitality, then Southern Charm.
And then and so she found her place. She found her landing spot. Good for her. Good for her.
By the way, I love Sally's new hair color. I think it looks great on her.
I do too. What else do we get? I mean, that's pretty much it. I think we're in for a really good season, and I'm excited about that. And I look forward to watching where it goes and where things fall. Like, I don't think I knew that Sally and Craig don't like each other, so I'm curious to see how that fallout happens.
Yeah. They don't like each other today, not on the show. I think the fallout happens on the show. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious to see like what happens. Okay, Salt Lake City. Let me tell you why I'm confused about this episode. At BravoCon, Andy goes, "This is the episode coming out on Tuesday.
Oh
Is
yeah, I heard
it's one
that.
of the best episodes of all time." I think he was talking about last week. Because when I watched this week's episode, this was like the least, and it still was fine. This
Yeah,
was the least
it was
dramatic
still better
episode.
than every other
When
housewife show.
we're
But
on
yeah.
episode 10, this was the least dramatic episode of all the episodes. So I'm like, maybe you were talking about last Tuesday where we had
I
the airplane drama, because this episode was not a top housewife episode of all time.
No, I agree with you. Now, I think it's better than almost everything we've gotten from any other Housewives franchise. Yeah,
Except
because like
Miami.
every single episode with Salt Lake is amazing. And when you actually think about what happened this episode, like for example, Potomac this week, what happened?
I don't know. What's happening right now in Potomac is more interesting than the news that's coming out with Potomac right now is more interesting than what's
Yeah,
on.
exactly. But I'm saying like you listen to, or you watch a Potomac episode and you're like, I couldn't even tell you what happened. And then you think about this episode, which was a down episode for Salt Lake City. And we got Mary at church, which I thought was so amazing. We got Mary with her son being high. We got Bronwyn's conversation with Todd. We got Lisa's conversation with her husband. Like Salt Lake is just in another playing field.
Yeah, and this was a down episode for them. I don't mean
Yeah,
down, it was like down.
for them.
Mary opening her church, I'm like, where's church been?
Yeah, what
Have
happened?
y'all been having church? Because I know
She
people
said a
remodel
couple of
church.
years.
Exactly. And I was like, people remodel their churches all the time, but you make it seem like church closed for for 3 years and then came back. I was like, what is happening here?
I have no idea what happened. It also doesn't look that different. So very confused. I'm glad they got new speakers, I guess. But seeing Mary in her element, even though she might be a cult leader, I loved it. She's a different person.
Of course we loved it. We loved it. The way she was sitting in that chair, there was a woman on the front row that was crying in a way that made me feel like maybe the cult allegations are true. But Black people love to show out when the camera's there.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the way those people were dancing, and the only reason I know that is because when I filmed at my church, during The Bachelor, I remember there was this guy that was like really dancing, cutting up at the front, and I'm like, nobody does this here. What are you doing, sir?
I
What are
mean,
you doing?
Black people also love church. Black people also would be over the top for a new church opening after years. So it was like a
They were
combination of
showing out.
combinations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
But I
oh, they're
thought it
like,
was
which
great.
one's my camera?
Yeah. I thought it was great. I loved seeing all the women there. I was so confused why they were so hot. I was like, when was this shot? Like, was it
Or maybe the air
peak
conditioning wasn't
summer?
working. Or maybe the air wasn't
Um,
working.
but I loved seeing Mary in church and how confident she is. And it was just a different side of Mary. We don't get to see that often. I also, when she pointed out all the housewives and they were all like crying based off what she was saying, she points to Lisa and said, "May you have a sound mind." I was like, this Lisa felt so touched by it. I was like, I don't know if what she was saying is what you think she was saying.
I know. Maybe Lisa felt like peace of mind.
Yeah.
Maybe you have peace of mind. Yeah, what do you think about Bronwyn and Todd?
I
Because
love it. I love it so much.
it's like I'm trying to figure out how to say it. I don't believe any of their interactions. Do I love watching them?
I
Yes.
love it.
Do I believe them? No. Like when Todd being on the phone and it's just like there's nothing, there's no warmth between
very
them.
cold.
there's no
I think that's how it
chemistry.
is.
I think so too. But I also think I was like, there's no, the way Todd was sitting there and his actions versus what he was saying did not match up.
So Andy was on Radio Andy talking about this interaction.
I love that you know this.
I don't know who. I mean, it was on TikTok. But he was, and I don't know who he was talking to, but whoever he was talking to was like, why does Todd keep signing up to be on camera? And Andy was like, I don't know. I don't know. He does not want to be there, but he keeps signing up. And Andy's like, it's so amazing. And I think Andy was basically saying like, he clearly thinks that like being on camera is supporting Bronwyn. So like he's doing it because he thinks it's like checking the box of supporting Bronwyn, but he absolutely does not want to be there.
Mhm.
And he does not realize that every time he's on camera, he's giving us something to work with. So like, think about how many times these house husbands shoot. A lot of it probably never makes the cut. Todd probably shoots the least, and every fucking second of his is making the cut. Every second, because it's incredible to watch them together because it's so awkward. It's so cold. The fact that Bronwyn was talking about their sex life made him want to like roll up in a ball and like go away. But at the same time,
She was fucking with him,
you're looking at like naked pictures on an airplane
which I
of
totally
somebody
believe.
else. Yeah, I believe that.
She
So does
was
Bronwyn.
but she was fucking with him with that conversation. She was like, knew it would make him uncomfortable. That was like part of her payback. When she kept going, I was like, and she was like, and I'm fine if you want to do other things too. We've been together for 15. I was like, she knows
100%.
that he's gonna be pissed about this, but this is her payback for him looking at
She's
naked
like,
women.
you wanted to go look at naked women, so obviously we have to talk about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also think that in these sort of relationships, that the conversations that her and Whitney are having are not that crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
People are like, I can't believe that. Like Heather was on Watch What Happens Live and was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe that conversation.
Heather Dubrow?
No. Gay. Like she was on after that episode, and Andy was like, what did you think? And like, she was like, I was shocked. Like, I could not believe that conversation. They were talking about having sex parties, Andy. And like, obviously Heather's from Utah, whatever. But Andy was like, I thought it was great. Like, I thought it was like a refreshing conversation. And Whitney clearly had no idea what Bronwyn was about to bring up. And when she brought it up, her eyes lit up like a fucking kid in a candy store. Like she was like, oh my gosh, someone else who finally understands what I've been going through and is willing to talk about this honestly on camera. And I watch Housewives because I want to watch people act in a way that I would never act, or live a life that I'd never live, or have access to things that I don't have access to. It's escapism. Watching them talk about this was thrilling for me. Loved it.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe they're willing to have these conversations on camera.
Well, that's the thing about being a housewife. It's like, to be a perfect housewife, there's key ingredients, and that conversation was one of them. They were unafraid to have it. And we should normalize like non-traditional marriages. Marriages look like
a million different ways.
Shocked how common it is that people define what their marriage looks like and what works for them, what makes sense. Or people who don't get married and do the same thing. Like what real partnership, what support is, what all that is. Like,
especially after 15, 20, 30 like years.
Yeah.
Marriage is not easy. Marriage looks different for everybody. What works for you might not work for somebody else, and vice versa.
Exactly.
So I like to hear these different dynamics.
I'm not shocked that Heather had that reaction, because I think Heather is, when we first got Heather, she was more open and like, I want to date him and I'm into this man. And I don't know if she talked about her sex life, but she definitely talked about like men. We haven't gotten that Heather in a while. And I think Heather's actually more prude than people think.
I agree with you.
So
and I think that's not, people shouldn't think that she's anything other than based off of the way that she grew up. So like her even saying the word sex is like huge compared to how she was raised. You know what I
I
mean?
I can't remember who I was talking to. Yes, I do know what you mean. I can't remember who I was talking to, and they were saying that they think that Heather really wants to be back in the church. This is the
Oh.
conversation I was having at BravoCon. They're like, they don't believe that she's that like has pride in being a bad Mormon, they think that she has a lot of guilt about maybe the way she was in the first season versus now, maybe the responses she got back. But they were like, they actually think that if Heather could be back in the church, she would, maybe not to the same extent, but because
Well,
that's been such her identity in her life that it's actually more hard for her than she would like to admit that she is not a part of the church anymore. And I was like, that's a really interesting take. I never thought of it that way.
well, I also think it's like community and in
Mhm.
she probably feels left out of stuff that she was always included in. I don't think she should go back based off everything that she said, and she probably never will be able to because of everything that she said. But I understand that feeling, and I think that it's probably like she gives too much and then gets killed for it. It probably hurts relationships with her family. She takes it away. She gives too much. I feel like she's like kind of on a roller coaster a bit, trying to figure out what's appropriate and not appropriate. But
Yeah, and we know that she's like lost friendships. Her relationship with her family is totally different. So I was just like, that's really interesting. I just like never thought about it like that. How
by the
hard
way,
that was for her.
going back to these relationships, because I'm just thinking about all of it now, would you rather be in a relationship like Bronwyn, not with Todd specifically, because that's really hard. And I'm trying to get away from thinking about him farting, but it is all I can think
It's
about when I see
fair.
him.
It's fair.
But would you rather be in a relationship like Bronwyn and Todd or Whitney and Justin, or a relationship like Lisa and what's her husband's name?
John.
John. Just based off of these 2 episodes, I
Well,
guess.
see, I can't. Whitney and Justin seem different. They actually seem like they have chemistry and they like each other, and they've gone through the fire
Mhm.
and have been like. I would say yes, like Whitney and Justin. Lisa and John are feel like business partners. There feels like there's
Well,
no,
he thinks that too.
yeah, there's love there, but I keep having this conversation lately. I don't know if they like each other. And that's everything. They love each other, but they don't like each other. And if you don't like the person that you're with, the relationship is dead because that's what's going to get you through those
Hard times.
dark, hard times.
Yeah.
They've been together for so long. They've been through so much. They've built these things together. They have these 2 kids, but I don't think they like each other. It's strictly
Yeah.
business. There's no warmth there, but a
Mm-mm.
different warmth that I'm talking about with Bronwyn and Todd. Yeah, like John and Lisa, the fact that it's bleeding out to us,
Yeah, because they don't want at least Lisa does not wanna share that at all, but
yeah,
it's gotten to the point where she has to. I
yeah.
think that I appreciate that Bronwyn can and feels totally normal because she seems so comfortable in all of these conversations. Um,
But she don't like Todd.
but I think is it her mother-in-law who's like, "Todd was gonna leave you?" And she's like, "Don't threaten me with a good time. The previews for next week."
Oh, I didn't see the previews for next week. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
someone says Todd was thinking about leaving you or talked about leaving you or something, and her response was, "Don't threaten me with a good time."
I
I was
think
like,
she's
"Oh my
pushing
goodness."
him. She's pushing
Um,
that. Remember, they don't have a
but
prenup.
yeah, they don't have a prenup. But I think that Bronwyn is pretty comfortable being herself around Todd. Like she has these
Yeah,
hard conversations. She feels confident enough to say these things, knowing that Todd doesn't like it, whatever. Watching Lisa and John talk and John being like, "I don't really have anything else to say to you." And like I feel like you have nothing to say to me if it doesn't have to do with business. I was like, "Ugh, I would hate to be there." Now, I do think that Lisa and John have for the most part built like a pretty amazing marriage. They've been married for a long time. They've built a good life together. This seems to be just like a hard spot, which like every marriage has. So it just depends if and every marriage has multiple of them. So it'll be interesting to see if they're just able to get through this, because we've seen them also be like great together, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we've ever really seen Todd and Bronwyn be great together, but we've only had her on our screen for 2 years, or a year and a half. So we might be seeing like a down part in their marriage.
Yeah.
But not being able to talk is a horrible sign to me. At least Bronwyn and Todd are able to talk.
Yeah. Yeah. I did see them talking together.
Who? John.
John.
Yeah. Hopefully they're out on the other side of it. I don't want
Watching
anyone
yourself
to go through
back
divorce.
could be different. They obviously, if they're not already, need some therapy to flesh this out. But I feel like it looks like I've seen this happen to my friends' parents when we got older. And I'm like, how did so-and-so break up? How did they get a divorce? And it's like, they seem so great. When I like think of it, it was a woman who was more vocal, a little bit more bossy. And the man, I mean, you could maybe say that about the dynamic maybe in my marriage. The man was quiet and kind of let her do her thing. And some men like that and it works. But there's another type of man, because somebody wrote me this. God, I screenshot and I have to find it. They're like, watch out for the quiet man, the man who's just, because he's secretly, and I'm paraphrasing this, he's secretly not quiet. What's the word they use? It's different from quiet, but it was like, watch out for that person because they might be secretly seething and disliking you and keeping it to themselves until they can't anymore. And that almost feels like a John. Like you praise the man because you're like, oh my gosh, they're so supportive. They're so this, they're so this.
Mm-hmm.
And then they really weren't that person to you.
I don't know. My husband is very quiet though.
It's not quiet.
But I think if John was never voicing anything and just like being quiet, then Lisa assumed like he's supporting me, he loves me, he's doing everything. But he may have had other thoughts. He just didn't say anything. Instead of saying, he's one of those, if they have nothing nice to say, they're not going to say anything at all. And he's just sitting there.
It wasn't nice. It's passive.
Oh,
I knew it wasn't. I'm sorry,
yeah.
It wasn't nice. I said quiet. I knew it wasn't quiet because there's a lot. I actually like quiet men. Like, Willie's a quiet man. But it was passive. It said,
that makes a lot of sense.
This is why you don't date passive men. They aren't actually passive or nice. They lack courage. They are brewing with resentment and using it as fuel, quietly agreeing, but seething inside. And I was like, that is such a true statement.
Mm-hmm.
That might be John.
I hope not for Lisa's sake.
The way John was in that interaction.
Oh, he had enough. He was done.
He had enough. And he's been passive.
When he looked down at his phone and was like, what? I was like, oh, this man is at his limit.
Yeah. He's been passive. And you have to, as this person said, they're not passive or nice.
Yeah.
They're not agreeing with you. They're quietly seething. And I hope they're talking to somebody to work it out because I'm not going to root for any marriage unless there's extreme things happening. I'm not going to root for anybody to divorce. All right, TBD on Lisa and John. We'll see what happens there. I hope they work it out. Because the love is there. I hope they find their way back to each other. And she's right. And she's like, marriages are hard and it takes a lot. And you add on to that, now they have fame.
Mm-hmm.
And Lisa loves the fame. She loves the attention. And I wonder if that with the business takes away also from whatever it is that they're trying to do. We'll see. A high body count hair. This is probably Britney's favorite moment of her entire time. There has not been a moment on the show when it has been all about Britney in a positive way. I don't know what happened on that plane ride. It's very clear that Meredith is delusional or lying to herself about what actually happened. Because the way that Mary looked at her, Mary was like, are you okay? I'm genuinely concerned because I know what I saw.
And you're
wasn't
you're
even,
telling me that something different happened.
yeah,
So now
Mary
I'm
wasn't,
worried.
yeah, Mary wasn't even like upset. She was like, I'm concerned. And it was that concern to let me know Mary's version is the truth. But it must have been so bad to where they were like, we got to do something for Britney. And they gave
And
Britney this
Mary
party.
participated.
And Mary participated
Although
because they
she did
showed that
not she
flashback.
did not put a voice note in the bear.
Because I didn't know that she and Britney still had an issue until they showed that flashback. And I'm like, oh, okay, like or that unseen footage, like we didn't get that part. But she
Mary don't
still
like
showed
Britney.
up. No, but I forgot. And she still showed up, which, yes, to your point, says a lot. I loved the theme of this party. I will say that. Nobody does
Mhm.
a theme of a dinner or an event better than Salt Lake City. They
Mhm.
know how to dress up, what to do. I just thought like the whole thing
Also,
was really cute.
when she opened the door, she was like, "Hi, body count hair." Like she knew immediately. So like they did a good job.
Yeah, they did. They did. I would have said, I don't know what I would have said. I don't think I would have thought that.
Yeah, Brittany's one of a kind. I agree with you. I don't know what happened on that plane. I'm shocked that we have no footage at all. Like no one got their phone out. I think it's worse than what Meredith thinks, but I do think that Meredith probably like took a Xanax or something because like you're on a long plane and like maybe she doesn't like she might genuinely think it wasn't as bad as it was.
She
Do you know
might
what I
not
mean?
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's been talk, and I don't want to make allegations, but it's like the way how calm and stuff Meredith is, a lot of people think they're like, is Meredith taking something to like calm her down, which I totally get. But maybe, yeah, that went the wrong way. I don't know. And with this, but I'm with you. Or the fact that it was so loud and disturbing. They weren't the only people in first class. And
Right.
one of them says something like, other people were complaining. So I'm like, well, where are those people? Where
Yeah.
was their footage? We see all these videos and photos of people on
Yeah,
social
exactly.
media
Did you
when
see
they
the
go
Portia?
cuckoo. I didn't see the video though. I just saw
The aftermath. Me too.
the aftermath.
She said, "I think she's gonna have me killed."
Who said that?
The lady that Portia
See,
got into
I
an
didn't see
argument
the
with.
lady. Wait, what did
Oh
that
my
lady do?
gosh.
Because I didn't see the lady.
That lady, Portia and that lady got into it because Portia was watching like TikToks on her phone
Without
without
headphones?
headphones. Yes. And so the lady was
I do
like,
hate that.
I sat there for 25 minutes, and I looked at her and I said, am I going to have to deal with this the whole flight? And then she
Ooh.
said, would you like to? And I said, no. And that's when it escalated. And she got in my face. She took out her fingernails, which almost scratched my eyeball. I don't know if you've seen how long they are. They almost scratched my eyeball. And I took my phone out to start to record her, and she smacked my phone out of my hand and it went down the aisle. I was assaulted. and now I think she's going to have me killed.
What does she look like?
Oh, you already know what she looks like.
So wait, was the
But
FBI really called to be there?
I don't know who. I only saw that because the police had body cam footage. So it was like through body cam footage. But people on the plane were all coming up to Portia being like, are you okay? That was crazy. So I think that lady was more of the aggressor than Portia was.
What I did see was Portia walking off, smiling, looking all happy as she exited the plane. And I was like, okay, Portia's going to be just fine.
Yeah, it seems like people think that woman was much more of the aggressor than Portia was. So I don't know, but that was that woman's account. Another conflict that I'm so interested in is your stance on OC.
I don't like Tamara, don't care for Tamara or Gretchen.
Okay, we're on the same
However,
page.
I don't understand how it got twisted. People seem to really, first off, I never felt like Gretchen took full accountability for the posts. It is clear now at this point that she was following these accounts and she was liking multiple posts. The original post may have been fabricated or not. Let's move past that. There's evidence that there were multiple posts. I never felt like she really was like, I like them and I apologize for that. I didn't realize it, whatever she wanted to say. I never got that. But the way, and I don't even care for Tamara, but the way it moved from moving past the fact that Gretchen was affiliated with multiple accounts that felt this way, that Gretchen has certain political stances that clearly Heather and Tamara have talked about in the past that align with her liking those type of things, right? Because I do think there's this weird thing where people don't think that they're homophobic because they have gay friends, but they still might think that being gay is a sin.
Mm-hmm.
Or they have a problem with, I like you because I know you, but maybe not, I have an issue with this stranger or this lifestyle. You're different because I know you. And I think that that's obviously wrong. I did not like that it switched to Tamara. Somehow we moved off of Gretchen being problematic to everything being about Tamara. And I kept like, in my mind, I was screaming like, so we're just going to forget. We're just going to hug and forget that Gretchen has problematic views. Cool.
So we mostly agree. I just went through something similar with the Selling Sunset, where Chrishell calls out. Yeah, Chrishell calls out Emma's boyfriend for having these views, and then somehow it switched to Chrishell's wrong for pointing out that Emma's boyfriend holds these views. And I'm like, no, but the problem is that he holds these views, not that Chrishell pointed them out, and he has these views publicly. So what? Who cares if Chrishell pointed them out? But somehow the whole cast flipped it on Chrishell being the bad guy in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is something similar. I think that the reason why it flipped is because the cast thinks that Tamara did something to them. Like, and I agree. I think Tamara set Gina up. You could have brought this up multiple times and never did. You told Gina because you wanted someone else to bring it up, and you knew Gina was going to bring it up. So you put her in a position where you knew she was going to bring it up on camera and have this conflict with Gretchen. Did Tamara know it was going to happen at this dinner? No. But she armed Gina to have this conflict with Gretchen. You're not going to convince me Tamara didn't do that. Tamara's been on reality television for too long. She knows what she's doing. She's playing the game. So I think they were mad because they all know that is why Tamara told Gina.
Mm-hmm.
I think the post thing is weird because we're missing pieces. Yes, Gretchen liked post. Yes, Gretchen follows all these people. I think she took more accountability for following the accounts than liking the posts. So she apologized for following these accounts and was like, I don't know how I followed them. Also,
there were like 200, by the way.
Yeah, but also following 4,500 people is nuts to me. That's a lot of fucking accounts.
I follow a lot of people.
How many? Do you think you follow 4,500?
Over 2,000.
Yeah, I feel like 2,000 is normal. That's more than that. So almost double the amount of people that you follow, and you think you follow a lot of people.
Yeah, I think I follow too many.
So following 4,500 people is a lot. So I feel like she clearly will like see a post that she likes, follow that account. I don't know how else you get that many.
Which is very bad still.
Yeah. Also dangerous. Dangerous to do that because you don't know what else is on that account.
I think she does.
Well, she clearly aligns with at least some
right-wing policies.
Yes.
Conservative policies.
And she didn't say that, but I wish one of the girls would have pointed it out when she was like, when the election was happening in 2020, I was following a lot of accounts. And I'm like, that we're aligned with what? Like, that's what I wish there would have been like.
Well, Tamara tried when she called. Why didn't Heather? That's my thing. Why didn't Heather want to talk about it? Tamara said to Heather, you and I had a conversation about her political beliefs. And Heather's like, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to go there.
But I think it has to do with Tamara. They don't trust Tamara.
Sure.
They think that Tamara is doing everything to start a war.
I'll agree to that.
So I feel like if it were Gina going to Heather and having this conversation, Heather probably would have had the conversation. When Tamara does it, Heather's mind automatically is like, I know what you're doing. No, I'm not going to be a part of your, like, you're not puppeteering me. That's why I think the women respond to Tamara that way. Before even any of this happened, before the fucking weird ass phone call that was filmed that we don't even know who the guy was, whatever. And I'm now even more confused on what happened there because it seems like that guy knew stuff that Gretchen and Slade did not know. So who was that guy? Also, even, what's her name? Gina being like, the guy said stuff that only me and Tamara know.
But then the guy did you hear Gina say the guy
Yeah.
deleted his account? So
Yeah.
she doesn't, see, like, that's the kind of stuff where I'm like, this should have never been on the show.
Made the show. Yeah.
It should have never been on the show. And the fact that it was like, what I truly think happened is that Tamara told somebody else.
That's that person that could have happened.
So that's why she could be like, on my kids, I didn't tell this person. I truly believe that, because I'm sure I would tell a close friend. And as I think I've said this on the show, Van always says at TMZ, the person they would get their information from was the person closest to the star. Right there in the inner circle. So I can't imagine, if I was filming OC, I am sure I would tell somebody in my inner circle all the shit that went down.
It could be like a makeup artist. We have no idea.
100%. And that person went to somebody and told them everything.
Yeah. But even before any of that happened, on the show this season, we heard a number of the women say, I do not trust Tamara. And they liked Tamara. Heather liked Tamara, or liked for sure, but Emily at this point liked Tamara. They just didn't trust her. So I think that her setting up Gretchen and her setting up Gina rubs them the wrong way. So they're mad at Tamara for her doing that to them. The Gretchen of it all, also, a lot of these women aren't Democrats. I wouldn't say that they're left-leaning. Heather is, Gina might be, but that whole side of the couch.
You think Emily's right?
I think Emily's right.
Interesting.
So while she might disagree, like how you're saying, people are like, I'm not homophobic. I love these people and blah, 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 blah. But you're voting to do things that are going to put their lives in danger, that question their existence, that make their lives harder, scarier. But they don't see that connection. Right?
Yeah.
So I think they heard these things and are like, that's awful. I don't like that. Da, da, da. But do I think they can get over it quickly? Yeah.
It's a good point. That's true.
I don't think that I would get over it as quickly. I don't think you would have gotten over it as quickly. But I think they were able to get over it quickly. And they were pissed at Tamara for doing it to them. Gretchen's saying things about people in general, right? But it's not affecting them. Tamara did something to them that she has done for years. And I think that's why Emily was so upset. That's why Gina, I think they're upset with how she plays this game and then tries to act like, I didn't bring it up, Gretchen. Yeah, because you gave it to Gina to bring it up.
Yeah. No, you're right. I completely agree with you. And it's true. Like, they've had enough of Tamara. They've had enough of Tamara, and it's very obvious.
I think that that's what it is, but I don't think that that should take away to what you said in the very beginning. The Gretchen shit's weird. Like, I don't really understand how she fits into this group. I don't understand Slade of it all. I was happy for her to come back, but now seeing how this is happening, I don't want all the 15-year-old shit to come up anymore. Like, either we start new or we don't. It'll be interesting because for year 20, I assume that she would be back. I assume Tamara would be back. Vicky will be back. And that will bring all new drama. But I'm just like tired of that. I'm tired of the blogger stuff, which I really appreciated what Heather said. Like, this is not what the show's supposed to be about. So it'll be interesting where they go from here. But I'm tired of Tamara. But I like her on the show. But she does this where she gets like too far deep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you just need a little recess and then you can come back. That's kind of where I'm at with her, but I don't know if they can do that for season 20. And just because I don't like Tamara doesn't mean I believe Gretchen. Like, I just think they're both, like, I don't really believe either of them. I think they both lie. I think they both are doing things that manipulate the rest of the cast.
Tamara could be so much better if she just would say, yeah, I wanted people to find out about your problematic beliefs. Do you know how far that would go with the audience? Be like, finally. But like this, I'm so free of any type of strategy, calculation. It's just not believable. The one thing I will give Tamara that she did say, she said, I've been doing the show for this many years. We've never had a leak like this. And I'm like, she's right.
I agree with that.
It probably is the makeup artist, the hairstylist. Fuck, it could be Teddy. You know, like you just don't know. It could be somebody in your inner circle that leaked it. You obviously talked to somebody, and
or multiple people.
I'd almost feel better if she just said that, like, because everybody does.
Even Andy was like, "Is it someone close to you?" She was like, "I don't know." I thought it was Slade until they were all like, "Slade didn't know about this part. Slade didn't know about this," and I was like, "Oh shit!" And then Gina being like, "There was things that," because we didn't see the whole conversation. Obviously, it's edited for TV. Gina being like, "The guy said stuff that only Tamara and I would know." I'm like, okay, so then who was this guy?
Right.
And also, whoever this guy is, how weird are you to call them, text them, cover up your voice, do all of that, delete profiles? Like, that's a lot.
He got exactly what he wanted. Sorry to Ryan Bailey. In hindsight, it did not sound like you. I said it sounded like Ryan Bailey.
I thought people think it sounds like Jeff Lewis, but I'm like, I don't think Jeff Lewis would go through all of this.
I mean, it's good content for his show. I don't know. After watching Jeff Lewis at BravoCon, even though I thought he is so talented in what he does, he went too far. It was like super offensive. And that's why he's saying Andy's not talking to him right now.
I think they made up. That's what I heard on radio.
They'll make up because they're actual friends. But he couldn't talk to him at BravoCon because Jeff was so disrespectful to people asking questions.
He got really mad at Andy at BravoCon.
But he was so mean. He was funny, but he was mean. Like there were serious moments. And so it's like some of the questions were really serious. And to your point about BravoCon, I thought the questions were they must have been filtering questions because the questions were not as juicy. It was a lot of, I love you, watch me twerk. Yeah. I love you. Look at my shirt. Come to my show. Yeah. Or I'm, going through a hard time. Thank you for having these people. It wasn't like, okay, so Andy, when you said this or this person, that was missing this year.
To wrap this up, I have a question for you.
Yes.
If you were opening your 38th credit card, what would your name be?
I definitely wouldn't throw a public figure under the bus. It would not be Pam Oliver. It would not. It would be something
Eddie Hennessy was great.
But obvious, right?
Yeah, but like great.
It would have to be like Katie Johnson. Like some but that story, I know we'll probably dive into it next on Bravo News, but and of course, Wendy's team has come out and denied all of it, but it's so specific.
I know.
That it's like, guys.
When I was reading it and saw Pam Oliver, I was like, now how did Pam Oliver get into this?
How did Pam Oliver get
What did she do?
I need her to make a statement. I will say that it was rumored that we knew Wendy was coming, but it was rumored that she was only going to be a part of her panel and bounce. They were there. They were around.
They were in the mix.
I
have to say that if I had all of these allegations about me, I understand them wanting to just be like, we're fine, but I'm like, you are in full glam. You are in Vegas bopping around. You have different outfits for every single day. I'm not sure if that is the look that I would want going into this.
I wouldn't be taking pictures with people and sitting in, there was no, I'm not, if you're innocent, if you're innocent, you believe you're innocent, maintain your innocence. But there's a level of, I would just be quiet and be humble because none of it helps your case.
Mm-hmm.
None of it helps the case.
I agree.
So, TBD. All right. Well, that is it for us here at Morally Corrupt. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Sorry, no Potomac. Next week, remember, we only have one episode. Our episode, Callie. We only have one episode. News of the week.
You won't see me till December.
You will not see Callie till December. We got a lot of news, though, that is coming out. So it should be a heavy show. Special guests will be joining us that week. So stay for that episode. Stay tuned for that episode that will drop Tuesday. Until then, guys, have a beautiful weekend. Stay safe and see you Tuesday. Bye.